we've been trying to figure out how to make things a little different and all that. So this is a little more of a setting that it's not ideal to the normal massage room, but it's a little more how it goes on in that we're going to show you a little bit about draping. So Karina is in a position where she would be in a massage room where there is no little bottoms on and no top, and we're going to just show the draping procedures so that you can learn that and be discreet about how you're handling your clients and make sure that they're comfortable. Because if they're not comfortable, some people are just fine with it, but some people really aren't. And, you don't want to offend anybody. You want to keep a reputation that's nice. So here we have a cover on, and I'm also going to change the routine that I do sometimes just after too many of the same thing over and over. So I'm going to change the routine a little bit and do the entire side, because sometimes you can do that. This is like in relaxation work. Sometimes I will just go from the leg and just go all the way up, which feels good. It gives people a feeling of being long. Otherwise, there's ways of doing the back and then the leg and then the leg, and that's okay too. So anything is fine. It's what works for you. It's what's comfortable, and the main thing is to make sure that you're giving a good massage. You want to make sure that you're giving good work. And also work that will keep your client comfortable. So to start out with, on the back, the covering is here. And how I do this is I'm going to start on this side. I'll pull the sheet into the middle and kind of roll it a little bit right up here and around the gluteal area. And then because we're going to work all the way up, I'm going to have the whole side exposed. I can tuck this part of the sheet inside the leg there to just give it a little more tension so that it feels like it's holding in place. Most people will be okay with their own therapist once they get to know them. For me, though, it's always been a matter of really thinking about what they're wanting in their safety, just getting safe, because it's about letting them just forget about things and not have to stay present in the room, worrying if they're going to be exposed or whatever their issue might be on that. So I'm going to put the oil all the way up. And it might be a little hard to see here, but we'll get to the other side and do the camera angles. I'm totally out of ergonomic safety. So just know that when you're doing it and you're at your table, you're going to be able to position yourself much more comfortably. Okay, so this is going to be all the way up. So what I can do here is start down low and just ride that whole thing up through and all the way to the shoulder. And then go back down and up all the way to the shoulder. Now this is still basically Swedish technique. It's just very basic. And up to the shoulder. Now you can start up here and work yourself in this way. Down. And then this way, when there's draping like this, you don't have to stop at the hip, but you can go all the way down, getting into the side of the hip and then down into the leg. This direction. Or you can start down at the foot and work yourself up, or just go down and up. Now there's somewhat of a routine that you can figure out here, and for me it's a modification of what I usually do. And as you can see, the draping stays. You can get into the system a little bit differently. The side is open, and bring it back down and up. Okay, then you can work along the spine from the top. Just kind of stretching the spine, muscles of, away from the spine, pulling it over. It's been so long. I just don't do relaxation work at all anymore. About the only massage that I do is adding a little bit to the craniosacral or lymphatic drainage. In some ways, I forget this is a lot of work to do the muscles. When I was at my peak, I would work 6 people a day, 6 days a week. And I did that for a lot of years. So it's nice to have modalities that aren't quite as hard on my body. And of course, being at the table is easier than the floor. So you can kind of see how that is. Taking it down and just giving a nice pull up. Well, this is just relaxation without really doing much therapeutic work at all. But yet it still feels good. There's an element of human touch that is needed for healthy society, and if it's healthy touch, we really do need that as a human species. The problem is it seems to be a group of people that feel predation is okay, and so because of that, people have gotten a little skittish about just being compassionate with one another and caring. So then when you're done, you just pull the draping back over. And then you do it on the other side. Now I can't change sides. Well, yeah, I can, can't I? Yeah. Just a minute. So now we'll go to this side and do the same thing. You'll be able to see how the draping will work. Starting down at the foot area, just uncover, and then bring this around, opening up the back here. So you have the whole side showing, and then tucking that just a little bit underneath the leg to hold it tight. There's probably a lot of different ways to drape. I never was really taught. I just found out what worked and what didn't, and there's many different ways to drape, though. I would also learn from other therapists, people that were older than myself. And I'm coming up here, and again, this is not ergonomically correct for the positioning, but it's getting the idea across. And again, this is a relaxation type of work, just a general, overall, non-therapeutic, in a lot of ways, more relaxation. So we can start down here. And of course, if you're doing this on your partner or your husband or wife or a friend, you can work the foot for a while and then go up into the leg. And of course, you'll be able to position yourself a little bit differently than I am here. We go, and then back down to the top, and then we can do some of the shoulder and come back down. Now, because you're going away from the heart here, you don't want to necessarily do a lot of pressure coming down, and you do more pressure going up on the leg, but you can ride down the leg, just lighten up the work quite a bit. And get down the back. And into this hip. Now what's nice about this is you can feel the hip socket. And down the iliotibial tract, and doing some kneading into the hamstring group around the knee, and again, I'm not using pressure, pushing downward, because you need to use the more pressure coming up in Swedish massage therapy, and all the way up. Okay, and then you can take the leg and get into the hamstring, some cross fiber, work into here. And all the way up. Okay, and then we can come down and do, starting from the bottom. This is a lot of my gymnastics here is because of the camera angles. Kind of given the boundary to be in, so we can give you the best pictures. Here I'm going around the knee. This is another way to go around the knee. And again, this is like brief work. This is relaxation. This is something that isn't going to address a lot of muscle problems, at least in the way that I'm showing you today. It can be made into that, but for this, it's just showing the draping and a little bit of work just using the whole side of the body. Come up on, and then we untuck it and pull the draping back over.